Yeah, I'm standing tall. Moonlight bright behind me. Me and the tiger, we holding the line. Fire at our feet. Birds in the sky. This is the night we rise and define. Moonlight Guardian. A tiger by my side, I got the fire gazing, locking up the paths, through the fire hazing. I told y'all, a full moon to watch it, we're under a light, guarding in peace, red and blue standing strong. In the depth of the night, and birds flying above and wings spreading wide. They circle around, lay down to ride. Moonlight Guardian, I told y'all, a fire in my eyes, standing with a tiger beneath the starry sky. Blue flame, red flame, shadow collide, standing strong. Through the fire haze, in the depth of the night, and birds flying above and wings spreading wide. We're under they circle around, they guard and ride. Moonlight Guardian, I told y'all, a fire in my eyes, standing with a tiger beneath the starry sky. Blue flame, red flame, shadow collide. Standing strong, world on the edge. But we are here to guide, a moonlight guiding. I told y'all, a power running deeper. Underneath the moon, our spirit beat, a tiny sparkling glowing. They drift in the air. A tiger, I tell y'all, in the air, every beat and every breath is shower, we care. A bird is swooping down, the shadow growing longer, we are standing firm. The red and blue standing strong, through the dark as we are shining. A tiger by my side, I got the fire gazing, locking up the paths, through the fire hazing. I told y'all, a full moon watching. Red and blue, standing strong, standing strong.
Moonlit Guardian. Under the soft glow of a vast full moon, the night was alive with mystery. Shadows danced on the ground, cast by the flickering light of blue and red flames that licked the air, swirling in a hypnotic rhythm. Mr. Happiness stood at the heart of this scene, his figure framed against the massive, glowing moon that hung like a silent witness above him. He stood confidently, a quiet strength radiating from him. Dressed in dark attire, his eyes were fixed forward, reflecting the firelight as he faced the tiger that prowled beside him. The tiger's eyes gleamed with a golden intensity, its fur catching the contrasting hues of blue and red flames, giving it an otherworldly glow. The two of them, man and tiger, stood together like guardians of the night, as if they shared a deep bond, a mutual understanding. Above, the night sky was filled with the silhouettes of birds gliding across the full moon. They flew in wide circles, their dark forms moving gracefully, adding a sense of life and movement to the otherwise still scene. They seemed to be drawn to the pair below, as if they sensed the power and purpose of this night. As the fire burned brighter, The shadows around Mr. Happiness and the tiger began to shift and dance, casting eerie shapes across the ground. The flames weren't ordinary. They pulsed with energy, casting deep shades of red and blue that twisted together, almost as if the fire itself was alive, breathing and responding to the presence of the two guardians. Happiness reached out a hand and placed it on the tiger's head. The tiger's eyes glowed even brighter, its gaze meeting his with a fierce, loyal intensity. It was a moment of silent communication, a bond that went beyond words, as if they were two spirits connected by a common purpose. The firelight flickered across their faces, illuminating their mutual trust and unity. Around them, tiny glowing particles floated through the air like embers drifting on a breeze. These sparks seemed to carry a life of their own, swirling and twinkling like distant stars, adding an enchanted quality to the night. The particles hovered, dancing in the space between Mr. Happiness and the tiger, filling the air with a sense of magic and possibility. The birds swooped lower, their wings spread wide as they joined in the silent ritual. They moved gracefully through the smoky air, their forms weaving in and out of the light cast by the fire, casting long shadows that seemed to join the dance. The whole scene felt like a cosmic ballet, a display of unity between the natural and the mystical. Mr. Happiness lifted his gaze to the full moon, and as he did, the flames around him began to grow, twisting into larger and more complex shapes. The shadows they cast were no longer random. They took on the forms of mythical creatures, ancient guardians, and symbols of strength and resilience. It was as if the fire was telling a story of protection, courage, and unbreakable bonds. As he and the tiger stood amidst the swirling flames and shadows, it was clear that they were more than just spectators. They were guardians of this moment, protectors of the night. The fire wasn't a threat, but a symbol of their resolve, the blue and red colours representing the balance between power and peace. The birds circled lower, forming a protective ring around Mr. Happiness and the tiger, their wings casting fleeting shadows that danced with the firelight. They moved in perfect sync with the scene below, creating a feeling of connection between earth and sky, man and nature. In that moment, Mr. Happiness knew that he and the tiger were bound by more than just companionship. They were keepers of the peace, carriers of light in the midst of the dark, chaotic night. They would stand together side by side under the watchful eye of the full moon, ready to guard and protect whatever came their way. As dawn approached, the flames began to fade, their light softening into a gentle glow that bathed the scene in warmth. The birds took flight, rising toward the pale morning sky, their silhouettes blending with the first light of day. The tiger looked up at Mr. Happiness one last time, its eyes filled with a silent promise, a reassurance that they would meet again whenever the night needed a guardian. And with a quiet smile, Mr. Happiness turned and walked away, his steps steady, his heart calm. He had fulfilled his purpose for this night, leaving behind a world just a little bit brighter, a little bit safer, under the light of the full moon. The end.